Om. 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 Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Sadashivasamarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. Vande Guru Paramparam. We are in Kathopanishad after a little bit longer break, 2.5 weeks, and we are in the second chapter of the Dvitiyavalli, something like that. Yeah. What does it say? Yeah, Dvitiyavalli. And we are, so second part, Dvitiyavalli. And we are in the second verse. I think we just talked about what the second verse was talking, but we didn't do the bhashya. So today we'll do the bhashya of it. And so what did we see in the first verse? The first verse talked about Puramekadashadvaram ajasyavakrachetasah anushthaya na shochati vimuktascha vimuchyate etadvaitata. Here another contemplation was given to us of, see, chanting, meditating, all that is good. Understanding is good. Intellectualization is good. But is it, while living in this world, can we abide in the reality in spite of the variety? That is the point. And for that, some transformation has to happen in our approach to the world. And that approach to the world is not for the sake of the world, but it is from the point of view of the universal self. See, the consciousness with, see, we as an individual, we always divide the world inside, outside, up, down, big, small, man, woman, light, dark, etc., etc. So in this division, it also comes the consciousness within. We are looking at consciousness within. Is there a possibility of seeing the consciousness without? So here it is told that the consciousness within is called the Atma, that we have already seen in the previous chapter, and the consciousness without is the Ishvara. But don't make a concept of an Ishvara. Don't think that Ishvara is like the Atma within. So Ishvara is within the world and world is separate to the Ishvara. There, Ishvara is the Nimitta Upadan Karan. He is the material as well as he is the cause of everything. He is the creator of everything. He is the created also. And therefore, he was Purnamada Purnamidam. And here, how to realize that? Can we look at the world and realize the pure consciousness? There is a lot of distraction. This you must have all experienced in your life. So if we have to practice, how do we go ahead with it? So here it is told, we saw that in the last class, that you contemplate, you ponder over, you think about. If you have to think, why you think about the world of variety? By thinking about the world of variety, your mind is going to become multi-pointed. So if we have to think, we think about that principle. Which one? That which is eternal, that which is self-knowing, that which is unborn. And what is that? That is the Atma, the conscious principle. And where is it? And for that self that you are is this fort, the Puram, Ekadashadwaram. So we already talked about ajasya vakrachetasaha. Now Puram Ekadashadwaram. This Puri is the city. So what is this city? It is with 11 gates. And last week, I think, did I someone tell me, did I tell you the city of 9 gates story from Srimad Bhagavad? I can't remember. So did I tell? So I told, or okay, I don't have to repeat it then. So there it was told that here it is told, not there, here it is told that this city of 9 gates is for this Atma. And when we contemplate on this Atma for whom this city is, then we become free of grief and misery. We become what do you call? Even though we are living in this body, we are not caught up by the karma bandhas. We are not caught up by any of the samskaras, and we become free even while living. And therefore, etad vaitata, this is that truth. This is, what is that truth? This Atma is that truth. What is that Atma? For whom this 11 gated city is there. Which is this city? This body. And we saw that the two eyes, the two nostrils, the 2 ears, and the mouth, these are the 7 gates up in the head. Then the navel, the genitals, and the anus, 3 gates at the bottom, and 1 gate called the fontanelle, that is the 11th gate. And these are the, I explained in detail last time about all this. And to consider ourselves to be this body is a misnomer. And when, I think, if I remember correctly, towards the end of the lecture, last class, when the consciousness as if identifies with this city of 9 gates, it is now the jiva. If it disidentifies from these 9 gates, it is the witness. If it is unaffected, and what is the true nature? The true nature was told, ajasya avakra chetasaha. So it is that eternal self-knowing principle, unborn principle, that you essentially are. And that consciousness alone is the Ishvara outside. And contemplating on this Atma alone, in this manner, one can free himself even while living in the body. And in the all the details, you can listen to them in the last lecture. Now, with that, we come to the second verse. Satu na eka sharira puravartyevatma kim tarhi sarva puravarti. But that Atma, he is only one, and so he is not going to stay in one body, but he is seen in every body. As many people, that many Atmas we see. So how does one Atma appear to be expressing through all the cities with 11 gates. So, Katham, how is this possible? Answering this, the Upanishad says, or our Yamraj ji is saying, Hamsa Shuchishad Vasurantarikshasad Hota Vedishad Atithir Duronasat Nrishad Varasad Rutasad Vyomasad Abja Goja Rutaja Adrija Rutam Bruhata. I didn't allow you to chant. We'll chant again. Hamsa Shuchishad Vasurantarikshasad Hota Vedishat Atithir Duronasat Nrushad Varasad Rutasad Vyomasad Abja Goja Rutaja Adrija Rutam Bruhata. Together. Hamsa Shuchishad Vasurantarikshasad Hota Vedishad Atithir Duronasat Nrushad Varasad Rutasad Vyomasad Abja Goja Rutaja Adrija Rutam Brahata. So don't forget what Upanishad is trying to explain here. How this Atma by nature is all pervasive. It is unborn, it is undying, it is eternal. Yeah? So how this one pure consciousness, how this one Atma, if I have come to know my Atma, this is many seekers come to this crossroad through a little bit of practice, even by merely watching the breath or chanting the mantra, chanting the Om, you can access Nirvikalpa Samadhi. You have got no doubt that you are the pure consciousness. You are the Atma. How do you now, when you open your eyes, the world is still there? This was my question. I told you last class. This was my question that led me to the ashram. I had not studied any scriptures till that moment, but a natural inquisitiveness, curiosity, wanting to go further, wanting to expand further. And what was that? That if I am accessing Samadhi, and when I come out of Samadhi, then the world is still present with the variety. Is there any way to convert the inner experience to pervade the outer experience in spite of the variety? Because in Nirvikalpa Samadhi, all variety has become null and void. So is there a way to make the variety null and void in spite of being in the middle of the world? This is the transformation that is given here in this verse. Until and unless this expansion doesn't take place, this expansion was explained by Lord Sri Krishna in the 9th, 10th, towards the end of the 9th chapter, 10th chapter, and eventually a pictorial presentation, if we can say it that way, to Arjuna. But here we are not going in for a pictorial realization. Here we are that, don't forget. And how that one alone is all. I'll go through these examples, but you will find it more meaningful before we go through this verse to take this example of the dream. how in the dream, where is the dream? In the mind. Who are you? For whom is the dream? For you. When we wake up from the dream, what is our take on it? Our take is that the dream appeared in the mind, the dreamer appeared in the mind, the dream experience happened in the mind, the dream world appeared in the mind pervaded the dreamer, the dream world, and the dream experience. The material out of which the whole dream was created was nothing but the mind. Every person in the dream was nothing but the mind alone. And what is, I'm taking you back to this discussion which we had in our last class. And what is mind? Mind is nothing but consciousness. So consciousness, so one mind appearing as life in many beings in the dream. And who are these beings? Each being has one Atma. Each being has 11 gated, is having a 11 gated city. And who is that city for? For the life principle which is expressing through that. And where did that life principle come from? From the mind alone. That mind alone is expressing. It's not that mind, some part of the mind went and became life in that person. See? And after waking up, where does the whole thing go? Back to the mind. Now, with this background, you try to understand what is going to be told in this verse. And what is being told in this verse is about how you should look at the whole world. Otherwise, consciousness will remain only on the seat of meditation. And when we come out of the meditation, there is only, duality, me versus you. Or there is what you call dejection and misery or grief. Why am I not able to see the experience the peace in which I accessed in the meditation? No. This is the self-talk. This second verse is the self-talk that we need to have with ourselves. So who is this? What is the nature of this Atma? He is the one who is moving, the moving principle in the space. He is the sun which moves in the space. He is the all-pervasive, who is everywhere in like the space as the Vasu in the. He is as the air which moves through the entire cosmic world, and he is the Vedi. Vedi here is the Prithvi, and he is the Vedi as well as he is the Agni in the earth. Now, how is this Agni pervading the earth? It's in the core of the earth. Without it, the earth. So he alone is the earth also. He is alone the Agni also. But is the Agni only in the core? No, it is pervading everywhere in the earth. And also he is the Somaras in the Kalash, as if the Soma has entered into the Kalash. So it's when all these examples are given, then after that the teacher says here that in the same manner that this consciousness, this Atma, he is not only in the human beings, but he is also pervading the devatas. He is also pervading the yagya. He is also pervading the space. He is also pervading the five elements, and there is nothing that is happening outside of him. Therefore, he is of the nature of truth. He is Rutam Bruhata. He is of the nature of Rutam. He is of the nature of truth, and he is the greatest Bruhat. He is the greatest truth that there is. There is nothing beyond it. And in this manner, the thought is given so that we expand our thinking. We expand our thinking not to look as, just like we were told, don't look at yourself as the body, but look at that this body is an equipment to serve you. Initially, in the first verse, this was suggested, that the 11 gated city is for the Atma. Now it is being told this Atma is all that there is. It is pervading everything. It is not pervading everything like water pervades a cloth. What is the difference? Water comes from somewhere, makes the cloth wet, and the cloth can become dry again. But the water makes the cloth wet. It is not like that. Then what is it? It is the cloth also, it is the water also. It is not entering into some foreign thing. This body is not foreign to Atma. See, for this we need to drop our presuppositions about ourselves. Without dropping those presuppositions, what is being told here, or what will be after this, the sadhana will be given, that we will see. But first we have to understand this. Unless we are not fired up by this vision, the next verse will have no meaning. So what is told? Let's see. Hamsaha hanti gachatiti. He is called Hamsa. This Atma is called Hamsa because it moves everywhere. Shushishat shuchau divyaditya atmana sidati iti. It's called Shuchi. Remember what was the first word? It was Hansha, Shuchishad. Now we are going each word by word. That is what Shankaracharya is doing here. Shuchi. What is Shuchi? This Atma moves around in the space like the sun moves around. Therefore, it is Shuchishat. Vasur vasayati sarvaniti. And it pervades everything. Therefore, it is called as Vasu. Vaivatmana antarikshe sidati iti antarikshasat. It is called antarikshasat because as air, as the cosmic air, it is moving around in the cosmos, and therefore it is called cosmos. The word in Sanskrit is antariksha. So it is called antarikshasat. Continuing, hota agnihi agnirvai hota iti shrutehe. And then the next word is remember the verse. We go back to the verse. What was that? Antarikshasad hota vedishat atirthir duronasat. So now we are at hota vedishat. So what is hota? Here it says hota agnihi agnirvai hota iti shrutehe. It says hota agnihi. Hota and Agni are two names of the same thing. Just like father and husband are the same thing. Same way, Hota and Agni is the same, and this is according to the Shruti. And here it is Agnirvai Hota iti Shrute. The Shruti means in another Upanishad it comes, which one I don't know, but probably in what you call, in Rigved or Yajurved, that Agni is called as Hota. Vedyam Prithivyam Sidati iti Vedishat. Vedi means that which moves around in the earth, and therefore it is called as Vedishat. And what is that is which is moving around in the earth? Here it is told, Iyam Vedihi Puraha Antaha Prithivyaha. Like the fire which is moving around in the earth, not only in the womb of the earth, but also if you dig the soil a little bit, it's warm underneath. So the heat increases as we go down. And so the heat is pervading the entire earth. Then continuing, it's given in Rigved. This comes in Rigved. Ityadri mantra varnat. So it is told in different mantras. So therefore, that what is written here is correct. Now, atirthir durona sat. Atithihi somaha sandurone kalashe sidati iti durona sat. So this atithi, this guest, who is this guest? This guest, Soma Sandurone Kalashe Sidati. This guest, he appears as Soma and comes and settles down in the Kalash. Kalash is that pot. Just like a wise person is a guest, just like a wise person comes and settles down in your house. Similarly, this truth, this atithi, like the atithi, he appears as the som and enters into the kalash, and therefore it is called as Durona Sat. Here the example what I gave you is written, I must have read and it clicked here. It says, just as Brahmanaha Atithi Rupena Va Duroneshu Gruheshu Sidati Iti, just as, or we can take it as the Som, one is the Soma coming and like a guest and settling down in the Kalash, or we can take it as Brahmana Brahmin or a wise man who appears as a atithi, as a guest, and comes and settles down in various houses and blesses them. And this is why this is called as Atithi Durona Sata. Nrushan Nrushu Manushyeshu Sidati Nrushata. So it is called Nrushat because this Atma, he enters into the Manushya, into the human beings, and therefore it is called as Nrushat. Varasad Vareshu Deveshu Sidati Iti. So it is, and he is called as Varasat. Why? Because he enters into the Devatas. So everything is pervaded by this Atma. This is the picture that is being presented to us. Continuing, Rutasad Rutam Satyam Yajnaha Va Tasmin Sidati Iti. Ruta Satya, it is this Ruta or Satya, Yajna is called as Satya, Yajna is called as Ruta, and it all even enters and pervades the Yajna, and therefore it is called as Rutasat. Then comes Vyomasad, Vyomnya Kashe Sidati iti Vyomasat. So why is it called Vyomasat? Because it Vyoma means Akash. There, as it moves around in Akash, in the space, in the expanse of the space. Therefore, it is called as Vyomasat. Then it says what? Vyomasad, see the Vyomasad. Abja Apsu Shankha Shukti Makaradi Rupena Jayata iti. So here remember now which the part of the verse is? Abja Goja Rutaja Adrija Rutam Bruhata. So we are done up till Vyomasad. Now Abja, Goja, Rutaja, Adrija. 4 are taken. So what are they? Everything born out of water. Where are we? And what is born out of water? The shankha, the clam shells, and the various crocodile, etc. They all come from the water. Therefore, it is called as abja. It is pervading that also. Goja, here it is a Goja Gavi Prithivyam Vrihi Avadi Rupena Jayata iti. That the Goja is that which is born from the earth, that is called as Goja. And then Rutaja Yagya Anga Rupena Jayata iti. Rutaja, the third type of creation. So one is the creation from the water, second is creation from the earth, third is creation from the yagya. And that which is created out of the yagya is called as Rutaja. It is pervading that also. And the last one, Adrija Parvatebhyo Nadyadi Rupena Jayata iti. And Adrija, this is the fourth one. Everything that is Adri means mountains, and everything that is born from the mountains. What is born from the mountains? The rivers, the rivulets, the streams, and as they come down, they become rivers. Everything that comes from the mountains is Adrija in this manner. Sarvatmapi sanrutam avitatha swabhava eva. In this manner, that even though it is the Atma of everything and everyone, even then it is Ruta, it is what you call unaffected by what it is expressing through. And therefore, and because it is separate from everything, it is unaffected by everything, not separate, because it is uninfluenced by whatever it is expressing through, pervading through. And this pervasiveness, again I told you, we have to think out of the box. This pervasiveness is not like water pervading the cloth. It is not like fire pervading the iron ball. It is not. So some fire is something else, iron ball is something else, and then the fire is enveloping the fireball, and now you are seeing a metal ball which is of the nature of fire. The moment fire is taken away, then the ball will become again iron. Then you will not call it fireball. It is not so. So don't imagine that something is coming from somewhere and pervading something. No, it is all spontaneous. It is all instantaneous. Have you ever seen the Atma entering into the body and then the body coming in the dream? It's bang. It's instantaneous, the whole dream. It's not linear in a linear way. Not only in a linear way, you don't see the separation between the consciousness and the life expressing and the body out of which the life is expressing as separate to each other. And in this way, this and because it is the cause of everything, it is that cause, because without, we are talking from universal point of view, we are talking from the totality point of view, because it is the cause of, because when we use the word everything, everything means the totality, everything means the cosmos, everything means the waking dream and deep sleep, everything means whichever level you want to go to. When we say everything, we are accepting there is variety. And when we accept variety, variety is each object in the world is separate to the other. Each person in the world, it appears to be separate to each other. And therefore, when you say, oh, the life has come into the child, oh, in this dead person, the life has gone out of the person. This is our perception. This perception is being broken for us. Only for those who want moksha. Nachiketa wants moksha. Nachiketa wants to ensure, and Yamraj is making sure, because he's got such a fantastic disciple. This question which Nachiketa has asked, it could not have appeared just out of, chalo time pass karte hain. No, he must have contemplated upon it. It's not because you have studied in the book, therefore you want to come to know what is Vedanta, vision. Vedanta is this vision. If you just read and then try, or you contemplate in yourself and then you come to this point, it has to, there needs to be a curiosity. There needs to be a seeking. How to convert the inner experience into the total experience. Inner experience of the consciousness in meditation into a sahaj bhav. That is what is being told. After that, how to bring it about, exercise will be given. Don't worry. That will be in the next class. But that exercise will be fruitful only if we are fired by this vision. Fired by the vision of the first verse and the second verse. First is accept yourself as the Atma, not as the body. Second level, that everything is that Atma alone. When you look at the world. It's an entryless entry. Bruhan Mahan Sarva Karanatvat, and therefore it is called as Bruhata. Remember? Rutam Bruhata. Rutam we saw. We saw the verse says, just let me go back to the verse. We saw Abja, Goja, Rutaja, Adrija. Last two words of the verse are Rutam Bruhata. So Rutam we saw that it is in spite of expressing as the Sarvatma of everywhere, yet it is established in itself. It has never become less. It has never become more. It is ever the same. Bruhan Mahan Sarva Karanatvat. It is the ultimate cause, and therefore it is called as Bruhat. Bruhat Mahan Sarva Karanatvat, because it is Mahan Bruhat means Mahan, the greater than the greatest. And why it is called greater than the greatest? Sarva Karanatvat. It is the cause of everything. Yada api aditya eva mantrena uchyate tada api asyatma स्वरूपत्वम आदित्यस्येत्यंगीकृतत्वाद ब्राह्मणाख्यायन ब्राह्मण व्याख्याने अपि अविरोधः. He says that according to this mantra, even if we take it as Aditya, that if they have yada api aditya eva mantrena uchyate, if by this mantra they have been saying that it is Aditya, which is the sun, even then Aditya, the sun is like is of the nature of Atma Swarup. It is self-illuminating, it is self-knowing, and therefore there is no argument about it. Avirodha, there is no argument with regards to if you take it that way also. सर्वव्यापी एक एवात्मा जगतः न आत्मभेद इति मंत्रार्थः. Therefore, this mantra, the meaning of this mantra is this, that there is only one all-pervading Atma of this world, of this universe, and there is no different Atmas in this world. And this is what I began within this satsang with. How do we experience the self that we have experienced on the seat of meditation, Nirvikalpa Samadhi, to be the self when we open our eyes? How do we take the whole experience of the infinite universe as the self alone? How do we see the self alone? This self alone is expressing in and through everywhere. Something needs to change. If we keep thinking the way we have been thinking in the old times, we'll keep getting the same results that we got in the old times. So if we want a different result, if we want to melt into an homogeneous experience of the self, whether the eyes are closed or open, we have created, eyes are closed, there is inside. Eyes are open, there is outside. Many people close their eyes and meditate, and they think, I am the self, I am the self. They're pulling their eyes in as if they're wanting to see the self. This mistake happens. Why? Because they're thinking the self is only inside. Eventually they get up with a massive headache. Don't pull your eyes in. It has to be the most gentle, peaceful, calm, natural, effortless endeavor, without a doubt. And what is that endeavor? That endeavor is that this sarvavyapi eka eva atma jagatah na atma bheda iti mantrartah. That there is no atma bhed. What is atma bhed? That My Atma, I have realized. You have not realized. Second level, this Atma in this body is different to the Atma in that body. This difference is also not there. So can you develop this vision of oneness? Can you develop it? Can we develop this vision? All we can do is contemplate in this manner and it clicks. We just contemplated, it didn't click. Contemplate again. Contemplate again. Again and again and again. When you went into a new job, when you newly got married, when you learned how to cook, when you learned how to cycle, when you learned how to swim, when you learned how to drive a car, did it happen straight away? No. You tried again and again and again, and today you are adept at it. It's like your second self. You don't even think of what to do, what steps you have to follow to cycle. It was initial stages, it was very important. But now you don't. Same thing with driving, same thing with cooking. They say practice makes a man perfect. Practice this. Again and again, contemplate in this manner. You cannot contemplate outside. You have to contemplate in your mind only. And what is that? That there are no different Atmas in the world. Just as in the dream, there are no different individual beings in the dream, they are all but one mind. Same way, in the waking also, all this variety of Atmas expressing through the city of 11 gates are not separate, they are all one, appearing as many. When will you realize that they are one and not many? Wake up. Wake up to what? You have woken up from the dream, now wake up from the waking. How do I wake up from the waking? Do this contemplation, waking will happen. Do this contemplation again and again. But I have tried many times, many years, I have studied everything. Then your attention is on how it is not possible. You are not fired up by the vision. You are not fired up by the possibility of losing the individuality and being the all pervasive. You are not fired up by it. You still want to hold on to the city of 11 holes or 11 gates. You want to still hold on. Choice is yours. Choice is of every seeker. Upanishads, the various Upanishads, they come as a mirror to us. They come into your life. Feel blessed. That's not enough. No. Practice what is being told here. And conclude. Otherwise, next Upanishad will also come. So this Atma is not only merely the pervader of the universe, but he is also the material of the entire universe. And as we say it in many times, Upadan Karan and Nimitta Karan. He is the material cause as well as the efficient cause. And he is he and everything that he himself has become the material. He himself is pervading the whole universe. Therefore, he is the laws that are regulating it, which the physical laws or the biological laws or the cosmic laws. Everything is he and he alone. There's nothing. Therefore, he is Rutam. Therefore, he is the Satya. Therefore, he is the Dharma. Nothing is outside of him or it, whatever. Rutam Satyam. And in this way, so that law itself is the Atman. Satyam is Atman. Rutam is Atman. Atman Tattvamasi. Atma is that Brahman. Just because we are using the words, there are no differences among all what these words are representing. It's one and the same. Just because people are saying dad, OG, brother, so on, man is the same. Get the purport of it. And that is you, the consciousness. And that is the beauty here. When we are thinking about the Rutam, when we are thinking about the Satyam, when we are contemplating on the Atma, Rutam, Satyam, Atma, one and the same thing, when we are contemplating upon it, automatically, because it is the Dharma itself, it is another word for the Atma is Dharma. Everything starts integrating. Everything gets regulated. Everything starts getting synchronized. And everything starts coming into a balance. All the forces, or I should say, automatically in your as you keep contemplating on that Dharma, on that Atma, there is balance of all forces automatically. And what is this balance of forces? Balance of forces in manifestation, they become harm. And how do they becomes? How does this balance come about or express? It expresses as harmony. Harmony does not mean there is no day and night. Harmony does not mean there is no war and that there is no war. But when we contemplate on this Atman and are in communion with it, the 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 outside forces, as everything starts getting synchronized, energies get synchronized, and when everything starts getting integrated and synchronized, there is stillness. Then there will be no tsunamis. Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya, they are far away. They cannot appear in a silent mind. Desires cannot appear in a silent mind. Desires appear when our attention is on the world. Desires subside, dissolve away when our attention is on the dharma or the atma or the rhythm or the satyam. Choose wisely. It's a simple process. Why make it complicated? And therefore, it is told, this Atma is the largest of all beings. Therefore, Bruhat. And that you are, man and woman. So he is not only, when it is said Bruhat, it does not mean he is only the largest. He is also the smallest. He is the substratum. He is the substance of everything. There is nothing outside of him. He is all that there is. Contemplate in this manner, and Sri Yamaraj is saying, Atmanaha Swarupadhigame Lingamuchyate. Now, the Atmas, what support has to be taken in order to have the Swarupa Gyan of the Atma. And therefore, we'll chant the verse and we'll conclude. Urdhvam pranamunat. What is this verse, man? Pranam unnayati. Urdhvam pranam unnayati. Urdhvam pranam unnayati. Apanam pray. क्या लिखा है? My printing is not clear. Can someone chant it?
Apanam pratyagasyati.
Okay. Apanam pratyagasyati. Apanam pratyagasyati. Madhye vamanamasinam. Madhye vamanamasinam. Vishve deva upasate. Vishve deva upasate. Together, mute yourself. Urdhvam pranam unnayati. Apanam pratyagasyati. Madhye vamanamasinam. Vishve deva upasate. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Sit quietly for a moment. Hari Om, everyone.